Hey guys, welcome back to Brian's Mysteries and Adventures on Trail. And today we are going to be going to the Virgin Islands, more specifically St. John, in the Virgin Islands. And before we get into that, I just wanted to give a brief history on the Virgin Islands. In 1917, the United States purchased the U.S. Virgin Islands for $25 million from the Danish government to establish a naval base. St. John is the smallest of the Virgin Islands, and it is located about 4 miles east of St. Thomas. The U.S. Virgin Islands consists of St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix. St. John is mainly a resort island, and it is only 19.6 square miles in area with a population of around 5,000 people. And honestly, to give you an idea, Manhattan is 23 square miles or something like that. So in 1956, Lawrence Rockefeller, through a nonprofit organization, he donated 5,000 acres of land to the St. John National Park Service. Then on August 2nd of 1956, the United States Congress passed legislation in order to establish the Virgin Islands National Park. However, the legislation stipulated that the park's holding on St. John could not exceed 9,485 acres, because St. John is only 12,500 acres in total. But in 1962, the boundaries of the Virgin Islands National Park were expanded to include 5,650 acres of submerged lands and waters that contain a significant amount of coral reefs, various marine life, and shorelines. And then in 2001, the Virgin Islands Coral Reef National Monument was established from roughly 13,000 acres of federally owned submerged lands off of the island of St. John. It's also noteworthy that in 1978, a large portion of Hassel Island, which is a small island within the St. Thomas Charlotte Harbor, was donated to the Virgin Islands National Park. So that's basically what makes up Virgin Islands National Park. So today we're going to be talking about the disappearance of Lucy Schuhmann, who went missing on St. John in the Virgin Islands National Park on September 15th or thereabouts, 2019. Lucy is a white female. She was 48 years old at the time. She is 5'8" and roughly 130 pounds. She's got blonde hair and blue eyes. She's from Louisville, Kentucky, and she was there on vacation, like most people do, go to these islands for vacation. And St. John is noted to be one of the safer islands. St. Thomas can be, since it's more populated and more people go there, there's more incidences of tourism, like robberies and things like that. So St. John is supposed to be the lower key one. There's not as much partying and that kind of thing. Well, Lucy was reported missing on September 19th, actually by the hotel that she was staying in. She didn't return to pick up her luggage. Some of the earlier reporting on this case had stated that she was staying in an Airbnb, but she was in fact staying in a rental of some kind, like a hotel. And on September 20th, when the search had gotten started and they were out looking for her all over the place, all over the island, they found her yellow Jeep Wrangler, which was found at a parking lot in the Salt Pond area of the Virgin Islands National Park. So at first they thought this was a great sign. They thought, okay, well, she's just out, she's still enjoying the island. So they looked around that area of the Salt Pond. There's a big trail that goes along there, but there's also numerous beaches, and they inquired all over the place, but they still couldn't find her. And unfortunately, this search was hampered by many different things. Hurricane Karen came ashore and was just pounding the coastline of all the Caribbean islands, including the Virgin Islands, so that set the search back a couple of days. But these SAR guys down there, they got right back on the case just like a day after the storm moved out. And this was a very difficult search for many reasons. The National Park Service had to bring in a technical climbing team because what happened was, after the storm moved out, they were searching and they found her ID in her day pack that was left at the Ram Peak Trailhead, which is in a very remote area of the park, and it's on a big cliff. And when they looked over the cliff, they didn't think that she was down. They didn't think she had fallen because the cliff was very jagged and with a lot of rocks, and there wasn't water at the very bottom. You could basically look over and it would have been easy to see someone down there, according to what the authorities said. However, they did bring in a special team of technical climbers. They brought in 9 different volunteers that were deployed with the National Park Service people. They brought in down there, the police is 1 police unit for the entire set of islands. So it's just called the Virgin Island Police Department. They also brought in a U.S. Geological Survey team that had specialized drones to help in the search. And according to the authorities that were working this case, they said that because of the high winds and the terrain, what they had to do was actually float equipment up to these cliffs and then have the climbers climb up. I mean, it was a very challenging search and rescue because of the winds, because of the terrain. It was just, but you know, the Virgin Island Police Department were sort of handling on the main part of the island. They were looking all over the island, and still to this day, this remains an open, active investigation. So not only were the grounds being searched, but they brought in all kinds of specialized scuba divers and snorkelers. They had the Coast Guard working this. The Coast Guard had various teams both in the water as far as the scuba diving. They had Coast Guard helicopters. They had various teams working the different coral reefs in the area. I mean, they basically canvassed the entire island because, as you could see in that first map, the national park there is basically almost the entire island. And even after all this, even after all these searches turned up nothing, they expanded the ground search on September 25th of that year to include all the remote and rugged areas of the park where the terrain is even steeper than where they were, and it's very thickly vegetated, all kinds of crazy hot and humid conditions. I mean, it was a really rough search. And from what I understand, most of the shoreline of St. John is just cliffs and huge boulders, and a lot of it doesn't have much access. So it's like they had to take small boats and then swim up to these areas. But they really, I mean, this was a very impressive search between the Virgin Islands Police Department, the National Park Service, the U.S. Coast Guard, and everybody that assisted on this search. And it was just crazy that they weren't able to find her. And that's one of the reasons that in this particular case, I honestly believe that foul play was involved, mainly because I know that a lot of people, we go to these islands for vacation and to have a fun time, but unfortunately they do have crime, and unfortunately the bad guys often do target tourists. And from what I understand from talking to people down in these islands, they specifically target people that they see alone, and women especially, which unfortunately she was alone. I just don't see, with that kind of effort, and in 2019 with all the technology and all the search that they did, that they couldn't have found her. Now there is a possibility that because Hurricane Karen had just come through, it's possible that she may have, you know, drowned somewhere possibly, and she was just washed away because of the hurricane. But I don't know, for some reason, I just believe in this particular case that foul play is definitely a big possibility. And I did some further reading, and it is kind of crazy how in some of these islands, not just the Virgin Islands, but in various Caribbean islands, that there is a lot of crime against tourists, unfortunately. In a statement given to the press by Stacy Plaskett, she said, "I'm very grateful for the diligence and care that our National Parks team on St. John have demonstrated." She said, "Our office will continue to support the team in praying for Lucy and her family." And it just goes to show you that even the congressional delegates were involved in this search. And you know, when someone goes missing on an island that's only 19 square miles, it's kind of crazy when they don't turn up. So I don't know, I'd love to hear what you guys think happened, or what maybe your theories are on this case, because I just think that with the circumstances, I think foul play was probably a very big possibility. Like I said earlier, this still is an open, active investigation, so if you have any information regarding Lucy's whereabouts, please contact the Virgin Island Police Department at 866-995-8467. I'd like to dedicate this video to Lucy Schuhmann, her friends, her family, everyone that worked so hard to try and bring her home safe, and just hoping and praying that she can be brought home to her family one way or another. I want to thank everybody for watching as always, and please be respectful in the comments if you choose to leave them. Please remember this is someone's family member. Special thank you to co.ag for providing the background music, and I will see everybody in the next one. Take care. So I just wanted to, as I end the videos, I wanted to start sharing with you guys some places that I would be interested in going to or adventuring to. I guess these will just be like bucket list items. I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford going to them, but I just thought it'd be fun to share some of them with you, and maybe I could spark some ideas in you guys. Maybe you would like to go to them someday too. So I just thought I'd share those with you. So I'm just going to share a few at the end of each video. So the first one is, it's called the Tunnel of Love, and it's in Klavon, which is in the Ukraine. And it's actually a railroad that has gotten so overgrown that it's just beautiful, and couples love to go and walk through this, and it just looks absolutely magical. And actually a train still runs through there a couple times a day, or at least it did up until a few years ago. The next place, this place is in Finland, and these igloo hotels were built specifically to watch the Northern Lights, and I just am obsessed with the Northern Lights. I've actually never seen them like this, and I've always wanted to. And yeah, this place in Finland built these igloos with glass ceilings so that you can go and see the Aurora Borealis. And I would just love to go to this place. I found this place years and years ago, and it's been on my bucket list since. It just looks absolutely breathtaking. And what type of cooler place could you pick to like watch the Northern Lights? So the last place on today's list is this place called Conestoga Ranch, which is in Utah. And you basically go out into this beautiful field with these old Conestoga wagons, and you camp out under the stars, and then your room at night is in one of these Conestoga wagon things, which this whole thing just looks so cool. And apparently the sky is beautiful there. Yeah, and I've just always wanted to go to this place too. So let me know what you guys would like to do, or some various places that might be on your bucket list. I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. Alright guys, thanks for sticking with me till the end. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.